Right, we're live. Hi guys, I know I am a little bit early, but there is a reason for that. I will tell you that in a second. But first, I will just get the old window opened. Hopefully there won't be duplicate sound. Hopefully I'll stop it in time. Yeah, right. So today is storing your inventory. That is going to be the topic. Chrissy is in the chat and the old Harry Hunter is in the chat. And Hans is in the chat, who was here the other week. So hello. So the reason I'm a little bit early is because I wanted to say a quote, and if someone gets it right in the chat, then they can have a shout out. The quote is, "It's better to be 3 hours too early than a minute too late." So put your guesses in the chat. Who said that quote? Quite an easy one. I suppose a lot of people will get it. But I thought, you know what? I'll be a little bit early today so that then I can do that intro. So yeah, it's better to be a minute too early. It's better to be 3 hours too early than a minute too late. Who said that quote? I will look in the chat in a minute. I know we've got a 20-second delay. 12 people watching now, which is awesome. I will look in the old chat, see who else is in here. We have Garage Flips, Lonnie, first YouTuber in history to start early. Never heard of such a thing. And now, well, I'm like that. I cannot start. I don't like it. I actually had a competition with this guy called Jamie in high school, where we would run to every lesson. Literally run. You weren't allowed to run in our school, like through the the quads we call them. And you weren't allowed to run, but me and this other guy did. Oh God, I forgot. Yeah, Lonnie's just said people can Google it. Oh, blooming hell. Damn it. Google takes out the entire need to store any knowledge in your brain. It's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, William Shakespeare. Yeah, Lonnie got it right. So Lonnie, check out Garage Flips on YouTube. There's your shout out. So yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we used to run to lessons because I did not want to be late at all. And we would, some days he'd win, other days I'd win, and then we'd be at the front of the queue. I was a right teacher's pet in high school. I didn't do well or anything, I got D's, C's, the odd B. I really didn't do that well, but I was definitely a teacher's pet. I loved sitting, sometimes near the front, a lot of the time near the front, sometimes right at the back. As I got older, I sort of went towards the back of the classroom, like more isolated, because when I got a bit older, I was more concerned with learning things on Google myself and on Wikipedia and other places myself, rather than listening to what the teacher has to say. And to be honest, I've learned more in my life just by learning myself, if I'm completely honest. Not that I'm terribly against the education system or anything like that, but I do think it has its flaws, which we won't go into now. But anyway, yeah. Ever sold Meccano ads? No, I haven't, but I sold that Baco set. You know that one I kept banging on about, saying I paid 80 quid for it and it's not really worth that. I thought it was worth like 140 or 150. Turned out I was wrong. And I actually sold it. I sold it the other day for £99.99 plus shipping. So I've made my money back. It's money to reinvest in other things. I'm going to completely admit that it was a mistake, obviously. And I'm fine with that because I've got my money back now. And maybe even like £3, £4, £5 profit, something like that, maybe slightly more, but nothing amazing. But yeah, I was so happy when that sold because I've got my money out of it. And as I say, I've learned from it. I know what the Baco sets achieve now. So if I see them again, it's good. But yeah, has ads gone off on a tangent yet? Well, I have a little bit. We talked about me in high school and stuff, but no, we are going to try and stay on topic. I've got a pickup today as well. Thanks to David again, because he was the first one who told me about the acronym COAT. I'm a bit worried about picking up so many men's coats now we're coming into spring and summer. I think they will sell like a little bit every now and then. But I don't think, I think they're going to slow down considerably, obviously, because it's coats and it's coming into spring and summer. So I will slow down picking them up, the coats. But certainly, you know, I'll still pick them up because things do have a tendency to sell out of season anyway. And David says, let's see how long that lasts. He is laser focused this morning. Am I? Am I really? I don't know. Is it morning? Oh, no, it's not morning for us. It's morning for you. But yeah, anyway, so I will probably slow down picking up coats as we come into summer. I will show you that one in a minute. I've also got an item that's sold that's just going out the door. Well, there's a few items, but I'm not going to show you everything that's going out the door. So I thought I'd show that to you because it's right there anyway. But today is stock storage. So we did this topic a couple of weeks back, and I'm thinking, oh, how am I going to play it? Because I don't want to just do the exact same video as the other weeks, talking about the exact same thing. So the other week we talked about like the process of like numbering things up in your storage and things like that, and keeping your storage efficient and all that sort of stuff with regards to having sections for items like video game section on one rack and it's all numbered and all that sort of stuff. But today we're going to talk about actually how to store things and how to store them effectively, the different types of ways of storing them, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we have 21 watching now. So hi everybody. Don't forget, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like. It helps a lot. And yeah, so the first way, I thought, I'm just looking down there because I've got my pad. The first few things of storage are the obvious ones, right? So we've got like tubs. We've got clear plastic tubs, your 80-litre ones, your 110-litre ones, your 60-litre, whatever size it is. They're great for storing things like clothes. Well, there's loads of different things. I suppose you could do shoes in storage containers. Oh, this isn't a... Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, David, again, Snap up 5.04% on the day. Oh, this is great. It keeps going up, but you know what I'll do? It'll go right down, won't it? So, you know, I said to you that I would, like, you know, I might hold off selling it for a few months, but I'm thinking when it hits a good high, I'm just going to sell and then buy some more dividend stocks. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's a different topic, not for this video. But anyway, tubs, you can, yeah, you can store clothes in there, shoes in there. They're great for tubs. I probably wouldn't store things like board games or anything in tubs because it doesn't really seem to me like an efficient use of space. I would say you maybe obviously not video games, unless you were doing singular video games, that's okay. But what I do with my video games is I bundle up, and basically, if I were to put them all these little bundles in a storage container, you can see where this is going. I would mess up which bundles are which, and things are just, it would muck up. So I always do my video game bundles on racking, and then I just sort of put them in a line so that I know which bundles are which. Garage Flips, which stock gave me a tip. David says the boy loves his Snapchat shares. Think they bought in about 2 hours after they went. Think he bought in about 2 hours after that. Yeah, 2 hours too late. Bloody, if I had got in earlier, I would have got them cheaper. But yeah, anyway, that's the side point. So I would say video games in bundles, I wouldn't necessarily put in your tubs unless you could find a way of, maybe you could put one layer of video game bundles in, right? And then like a sheet of A3 paper over that one layer, and then put another layer of video game bundles in. So basically the layer of paper breaks up the bundles so you know which is which, and then you put the lid on last. So that could work. But I would say your tubs are the best thing to store in there, just your clothes. So yeah, tubs is a big one. I use tubs alongside the next one, which is racking. Obviously, you know, it's an obvious one. But I'm sure this video will help out some beginners as well who don't really know how to store things and all that sort of stuff. But racking is a big one. You can get the metal ones. I've got, oh, what's it called now? Dexium. Is it Dexium whacking metal ones? I don't know. I've not got the plastic ones anymore. Well, I do have a few plastic ones, but I have metal ones now. And yeah, they're great. They're really, really good. You want ones with a fairly wide surface area, so you can fit a good amount on. And maybe like sort of 4 or 5 high is always good. Make sure that if you're putting a hell of a lot of stuff on, heavy stuff, make sure they are screwed into the wall, or so, there's some sort of prevention from them falling. Yeah, what else? So that's whacking. What I forgot now? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Caroline Johnson from the Celtic Traders. She uses, or she said in a video ages ago, that she uses banana boxes. So I forgot what she said she uses. I think she uses them for loads of different things actually. But she said they're very stackable, so you can sort of put 3 or 4 banana boxes on top of each other, and then she numbers them up and does all that system, so she knows where the actual product is. Rubber bands to, oh my god, I can't even believe that. Rubber bands to separate video game bundles, of course. I am so stupid. Oh, yeah, this is the thing, right? I have good intellect when it comes to maybe the bigger things, the bigger problems and stuff. But when it comes to the smaller problems, I am completely, like, I have a fairly okay intellect, I think, but I'm really bad at common sense and things like that. I was really bad when I was working at the auction house. I'm absolutely terrible at common sense things and stuff like that. But that's just how I am. So yeah, rubber bands, that would be perfect. Yeah. I might actually implement that system because I've got a load of rubber bands. So yeah, that would be quite easy to implement. That's what I use, simple rubber band to hold together any media bundles. I see what I mean. That's David said that. I'm so stupid. I really am. But yeah, anyway, so that's that. And that's a good tip actually. So video game bundles, rubber bands. I also wanted to mention this one, and I know Bonafide Hustler does this. I think there's a few others as well. Well, there will be a few others as well, obviously. And that is wrapping or packaging up your items before they are sold, and then writing like numbers on them or something like that to be able to know which item is in which package. It's one that I don't think I would do unless I was doing a lot of wholesale stocks or a lot of the same item. And I did, when I was doing ponchos when I was younger, I did think about this. I thought what I could do is I could have a listing set up of maybe 4 ponchos and then wrap a load of 4s. And then I could have a listing set up with 1 poncho and then wrap a load of 1s. And then a listing with 2 ponchos and wrap a load of 2s. When I was thinking, if someone bought like multiple quantity, then I'd somehow have to like, I don't know. I would have to put maybe, I suppose I'd have to put the 3 bubble mailers that were full of 4 in each bubble mailer, into maybe a box, or maybe somehow wrap them together or something. But I don't know. I was very young at the time. Didn't really know what I was doing with eBay back then anyway. And I only ever stuck to the 1 poncho on 1 listing, and then they could buy multiple quantities. And I never did the packaging it up myself, because as you can see by that thinking about it then, my thoughts into it, I'm really not good at that stuff. I'd probably end up like sending the wrong number out to someone or something like that. I polybag all my clothes, just jeans and t-shirts mostly. Is that a grey polybag or is that a clear polybag? Because I know some people clear polybag them and then they're ready to put in another polybag ready for dispatch. If it was a grey polybag, obviously you could just like write on it, or write a little note so then so you know what's in it. But if it was a clear polybag, like I know some people do, just to keep them sort of fresh and nice, then obviously you could see it, so that would be good. But yeah, ponchos are for pros. Here we go, Neil with his little comment there again. Ponchos are for pros. I know, whatever. I was only young. I was selling quite a few a day for my age anyway back then. But I could never have, without other income streams and stuff like that, or other products, I couldn't have done the volume with the ponchos. But saying that, my listings were really bad. So Stephen says, hello ads, did I miss much? Not a lot. We've just been talking about the basic storage strategies, you know, the basic ways of storing stuff. Opaque polybag. I write what's on it with Sharpie. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I have clothes rails and hang all my clothes on my eBay room. Looks like a charity shop. That's from David McGregor. Yeah, I did the clothing rail for a bit, and then I bought loads of clothing, and then I was like, oh god, I've not got enough space on the clothing rail, and I didn't want to get another clothing rail, so I ended up just folding them, most of them all the way in not polybags, tubs, like, you know, the big storage tubs. And that seems to work for me. I just have to be careful when I'm you know, when one item of clothing is right at the bottom, so then I'm not creasing or, you know, mucking up all the nice folded clothing. But yeah, that seems to work for me. And I put like all my coats in one, all my ladies' stuff in another, that sort of stuff. I'm just learning with storing clothing though, so I don't know. I might change that up in a month or so when I'm buying more of it in the boot sale season as well. Because my plan is to not go big on clothing this year, but certainly pick up a good fair amount of items for the slower periods of the year. So yeah, how do you store your breakables? I have a big long tray. Well, not a tray. It's a big long container, like a big long one, not a deep one. Oh, I know how to describe them. Under the bed storage containers, like one of them, and then I have all of them lined up. Basically like that, just lined up, nice and easy. And I just have that nicely fixed on a shelf, you know, not going anywhere or anything like that. Because basically I put two shelves together, like, so there's a shelf here, like a rack here, and then another rack in front of it. So I've got double the width. And then basically I just put that under the bed storage container onto the racking, all nice and stable, and then I just pick out of it. It's so good, so good. And I love selling breakables. You know, the one thing about me is a lot of people say, oh, I don't like to package it, all that sort of stuff. I love it. I love selling breakables. Really cool. Is your stock at your house or is it off site? It is at my house still. But it's actually been moved slightly. We've had a bit of a move. Well, we had a bit of a move around a few months ago. But that's all I'm going to say. For purposes of just keeping it where it is, basically, and I don't want to be showing it off and all that sort of stuff. How items do you currently have? How many items do I currently have on eBay? 726 on eBay and about 706 at Amazon FBA. So just over 1,400 listings. And yeah, I'm looking to scale back my FBA slightly, just slightly. I did want to scale it back a bit more than I am going to do, but I thought, you know what, I don't think I really need to scale it back loads. But maybe to like 400 items, 500 items, something like that. I did think of scaling it back to maybe even 200 or 300 items, you know, because we're a little bit behind you, you know, you over in the US, and I can see the sort of restrictions and stuff that you've been having. I've been thinking, oh no, this is going to come over here and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I thought of scaling it back. And I am going to do that, but just to a lesser extent than I first thought. But yeah, so that's what I've got. I am thinking of expanding my eBay more, maybe get to the point where, as I say, Amazon's at 500, eBay's at 1,000, and then I can manage that. I can quite easily manage that, and that would take me up to my income, especially if I'm getting higher value items as well. I am so nearly where I want to be now. It's absolutely crazy. I'm coming up to the 2-year point, and in videos ages ago, I said, you know, I'm not doing the numbers. I'm not doing the numbers, and it is still true. You know, I'm not doing like the numbers where I completely need to be able to like move out my house and stuff like that. But now I am so close. I am so close. I'm so close. I can taste it. And that is really good. And that's what I predicted. I said that sort of by, you know, this year sometime, I don't know when it'll be, maybe coming close to fourth quarter, I'll be where I want to be with my reselling. And you know, it'll only take just over 2 years, you know, 2.5 years, and that is really good for, you know, for any business really, to get up to a point where you want to be in about 2 years. So yeah, I'm really happy with where it's going. Don't ever move out, ads. Yeah, I know, it's so good. Although saying that, I cook like 90% of my meals now anyway. I do a lot of the washing up and things like that. I help around the house, so it's not like I'm living a life of luxury, but it certainly is a lot better than if I was living on my own. But yeah. Oh yeah, with regards to the low overhead, definitely. I only pay like a little bit of board each month. I started that last month when I was 21. And yeah, I mean, the overhead is just so minimal. My insurance is really low because I'm on my mum's insurance still, so that's good. I'm not building up my no claims with that, obviously, but it is pretty low. It's yeah. Neil says it's not the cooking, what I'm washing up. It's the cost. Yeah, definitely. I know. Yeah, when Lonnie said that last bit, then I realised what he meant. Yeah. It is. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I don't know all the costs of running a house. I don't run a house, but I can definitely appreciate there's going to be a lot of costs. And yeah, so pro tip by Lonnie: don't get married till you're 40. Oh, that's funny. Carp fishing. He's moved it to the front room. You've moved your stock from spare room. What's the mystery? Well, I don't really want to say it on camera because my mum specifically said don't say it on camera, and I've probably thought of giving people an inkling by talking about it anyway, but I have to respect my mum's wishes because it's her house. So I'm not going to say any more on camera. I'm just going to say I've got a lot more stock now than I did have in that other room, and I've got potential for growth. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all you need to know. And there will come a point where I will, you know, I'll share more with you. But at the moment, I just want to sort of keep it held back a little bit because obviously I'm respecting my mum and dad's wishes with that. So yeah, anyway, that's that. David, he keeps it in the dungeon with his prisoners. If mum says no, don't say anything. I know, exactly. I know. Mum's the word, David McGregor says. Ads, don't move out yet. You have to do jobs that you never knew existed, such as cleaning under the sink and dusting filthy skirting board. Oh, no. I didn't know that. I thought it was just fairly... Yeah, I mean, I know like the ironing, the cleaning, I can do ironing to some extent. I can you know, make my own room and all that. I've been able to do that for years. That's nothing hard. I can cook most things. I'm a little bit iffy with fish still, but that'll come over time. But I can cook, you know, pretty much all veg. I'm really good at that. I can cook meats. I can cook things like that. I am pretty self-sufficient at cooking. Never liked food tech in high school when we did it, or home economics if you're a little bit older. But yeah, I never really liked it, and but now, you know, I love cooking. I really do. But yeah, I can do that. Ironing, as I say, that's okay. What else? Hoovering, can do that. That's easy though, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I can do washing up, obviously. But there are a few, well, let's say a few, there are quite a few things I couldn't do. Even things that are maybe, you know, something you need to know, but you don't always, well, my generation specifically doesn't really know how to do, like change plugs and things like that. Like, I don't know how to change a plug. We got taught it in high school. I don't remember how to do it. But, you know, most people on the chat, as they're a little bit older, I hope you don't mind me saying that, but as you're a little bit older, you'll probably know how to change a plug. So I don't know that. So, I mean, my dad's taught me like twice as well. It just goes in one ear, out the other. But yeah, so, but then again, I mean, my dad was saying to me a while back, you know, your generation might, or your kids might not even need to know how to change a plug and do these things anyway, but it's always good to have the skill there. because it means you're not like 100% reliant on a robot doing anything for you if we're talking 30, 40, 50 years in the future. Or maybe even 10, 20 years in the future. What am I saying? It's, it could happen quite soon. Since I've moved out, YouTube has been my friend for any DIY. Ooh, that's good. Brown to live, blue to neutral. Simple. Yeah, it's simple for you. It's not simple for me. I'm not a practical person. Other than going out sourcing and actually getting stuff and like lifting things and doing the real basic manual labor or the real basic practical stuff, I am not a practical person one bit. But I've got to learn that because I really want to get better at DIY. I mean, I saw Nick, Nick Hills a few months ago building his mega shelf or whatever it was. And I thought, God, I wish I could, I wish I could do something like that. I wish I was that good at DIY. But it just takes time, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to learn that. It's something I want to learn in my life because it's a great skill. Here it's white to neutral, black to live. Everything comes with a molded plug now, so you don't need to worry. Just throw the item away and buy a new one. Oh, right. All right, that's okay then. That was from Neil. Garage Flips just said, here it's white to neutral, black to live. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? So yeah, that was it really. That was all my sort of notes on stock storage in that respect. I mean, any other chat, any other guys in the chat want to chip in with stock storage? Obviously, I said, I wasn't going to talk about the whole, putting like a little number in your listing on eBay and then it corresponding to something in your stock room, because we sort of talked about that the other week. But yeah, so in terms of actual effective stock storage space, the one everyone uses is the one I've already mentioned, racking and stuff like that. I can't think of something really different that I know that someone uses. I mean, the mega shelf that Nick used, that was cool. That was really awesome. That I just mentioned. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering really, other than like racking and things like that and the basic stuff, I can't really think of anything. House bills will be 600 to 800 a month. Wow. Oh my God. Bloody hell, that is. There's this pen's lit up. Oh no, it's gone off now. So that lights up, that one. But when you click that down, the pen doesn't come out the end. Anyway, we're going off topic here. I can see it slowly going downhill and going off topic. Depends where you are, though, lads. Yeah. Well, I have said for years to my mum and dad that I want to live in this house forever. I don't know quite whether that's a joke now or whether I actually still believe that I do want to live in this house forever. But I don't know. I just like where I am, and I've had so many memories where I am, and I just can't envisage leaving this village. Although I know that I'm going to be walking around in 50 years' time, and it's only going to be painful because it'll be where people I once knew roamed who aren't here anymore. And I know that's a bit of a depressive statement to make, but I don't want it to be like that. So then if I move away, it's kind of like I'm moving on with my life and I'm flying the nest. I'm on to bigger things, really. But I can see myself doing that, 50 years from now, if I'm still living here, I'll be more depressed about it because I'll be living in the past, essentially. But I do think that when I'm about 71 in 50 years' time, I'm going to come back here, I think, and just roam the streets and see how it was, see how it is in 50 years' time. Just for sort of memories and stuff. Ads and Mandy have big plans to move in together. No, we do not. No, we do not. No, I don't know. No, I'm not like. I don't know. It'd be hard to move in with someone. I mean, I can't even envisage sharing a bed with anyone long term. I just don't know. I mean, it would be. I'd want a separate room. I'd want a room where I could have a single bed or something, or even a double bed, and that I could go to sleep on my own. Like, you know, if people are turning over and dragging the mattress across and all that sort of stuff, and I've not got any mattress, and I don't know, it just seems, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I just don't know. Sharing a bed with someone long term, it just seems, oh God, just annoying. I usually get shelving from Argos, or IKEA have nice wooden racking. Yeah, I've not tried wooden racking. I've tried the plastic and as I say, I think it's called Dexium, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. But yeah, we have 26 watching now. That's cool. Is long term more than 15 minutes? No, in basically like what we got taught in not high school, in college business, is like long term is anything over 12 months, and then short term is anything like less than 12 months. That's what I think it means in terms of a business, but in terms of just long term personally, I'd say about the same anyway. Probably say long term was, you know, over 12 months. But I don't know. It just seems a bit. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I just get a bit. My face goes a bit crumpled up when I think about it, as you probably know, because it's going a bit crumpled up now. Like, ooh, don't know. Messing with you ads. Oh right. Oh, is long term more than 50? I didn't even get that. I didn't even clock onto that. I was so fixed in my own world, I did not even clock onto that. Oh my God, terrible. Are you saving for anything personal life ads? No. Well, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, there is. I'll talk about this a little bit. I've always said, well, I've not always said, but I've said on video a few times, by the time I'm 60, I want to do my weekly shop at either Waitrose or M&S, if they are still going by the time I'm 60. That is a personal life goal of me. I told it to my dad yesterday, actually. He said, oh, that's not a bad goal, that isn't. So, but that is like a personal goal of mine, to do that. So I'd have to be earning, you know, I have to earn a fair bit in my career, and then, you know, obviously the state pension wouldn't, well, if there even is a pension then, but it wouldn't really cover going to Waitrose and all my other bits and bobs. So I need some sort of private pension built up or something like that, or done well in my career and that sort of thing. But yeah, that is one of my goals. Very simple, I know, but I really like food, and I like good food. I don't mind having food as just an energy source, and, you know, having a lunch that isn't really that exciting but that gives me energy for the rest of the day. You know, I'm all down with that. But on the other end of the scale, I do like good food, and that is why it's a personal goal of mine. The other goal is, and this is literally all I want in my life. I want a long trench coat, tie-dye rainbow, as I think I've mentioned this before. I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks back, with a little embroidered A in cotton. I want a rainbow suit, full rainbow top hat, rainbow spray painted car. Oh yeah, I did mention this, but that's it. That is literally it. That's all I want. And then the other thing I want, this is an important one, and this is more of a something that isn't, oh, what's the word? It's something more sentimental, right? So one of your life goals is a trench coat, yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know why it's that. It just, I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in my life, and a lot of things I've not shared on YouTube, maybe because they're a little bit eccentric or a bit crazy or whatever. And when you've done a fair few things, I'm sure there's people who have done a lot more than me. I'm not saying I've done everything or anything like that, but I've done a fair few things that I've really enjoyed, and not so enjoyed. And that sort of made me a bit more humble and like, well, I don't want all this stuff. I'm quite happy just to live my life and get a few different things here and there, you know, that aren't really mega exciting, but give me a bit of excitement for the time being. And that's basically it. That's why. But the one thing I wanted to touch on, the one more sentimental, or the one thing that might make people a bit like, oh, you know, is this thing I'm going to tell you now. Reselling is my ultimate job. Reselling my ultimate job. And when I found it, I was so happy. You know that moment where you're like tearing up and you're just so happy about your life that it's like, oh my God, I've arrived. You know, it's amazing, this rush of emotion. And that happens for me almost every few days. Like when I'm outsourcing and I feel a little bit down, a little bit like this, I think, look at what I'm doing. I've achieved my perfect job, my absolute perfect job. And then I get that little rush and that little tear that comes in my eye, and I think, oh my God, I'm really happy. And moving on from that, because when I was younger, if you ask Danny or Ryan or any of my other friends, I used to want to be something different every day. Something different every day or every week. I'd say to them, "Oh, I want to be a spy," or "Oh, I want to be an opera singer," or "Oh, I want to do this or that or this or that," because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have a clue. But well, I sort of did, but I didn't know what it was. If you know what I mean, like I sort of, it was there, but it wasn't quite there. Like the spark hadn't lit yet. And then I did the ponchos and I did a few other pocket money toys on eBay. Loved that. Moved away from that and did other things online for a few years. And then I came back to reselling the second-hand goods side of it. And yeah, I really loved it. And this is the one goal I want to achieve. I am absolutely certain that if ever I have a child, it's going to be a girl. And I know what you're going to say. Well, that means it's going to be a boy. I really do think it's going to be a girl. But even if it is a boy, that's fine. What I want to achieve in my life is to fulfill my child's dream with the money that I have made from living my own dream. You see what I mean? How amazing would that be? To fulfill my child's dream, whatever it may be, they can do whatever they want in the world. I really don't mind. Well, actually, that might be going a bit far if they're like a criminal or maybe go into the porn industry or something. Maybe not. I probably wouldn't like sort of advise that. But anything good that they want to do that's viable, then I will support them with the money that I have earned from living my own dream. So that's my ultimate life goal. I still get excited about sourcing, making sales, etc. I love the adventure. It hasn't gotten old after 3 years. You can't fulfill someone. No, I mean, like, give them the money to be able to fulfill it themselves. That's what I mean. Like, for example, saving up for college or university like for college for you or university for us, because it's very similar. Well, like saving up my money that I've earned with reselling to pay for their university, which then helps them achieve their dream themselves. That's maybe the wording I should have meant. But yeah, that is my life dream. Like my dream will help pay or help go towards fulfilling my daughter's dream or my son's dream. David has said a couple of questions. Good question. What would you do, Ad, if your mum and dad just told you that they wanted their space back, or grandma was moving in? What's the plan? Adapt. I mean, get a storage lockup, or I don't know. Yeah, get a storage lockup, or I don't know. Yeah, I think get a storage lockup. That's got to be the one, hasn't it? Really, I mean, storage unit, because I can't think of anything else. I mean, what I could do is get a storage lockup, and then on the side, for like a side income, get an antique booth, or get some other sort of like local hustle going. And then I've got my storage lockup, which has all my eBay stuff in, and then I have like other little bits and bobs working for me as well. But I don't know. That's like I would have to adapt. That's what I'm saying. But certainly I wouldn't give up reselling, because I said, a few months back, if I had to get into clothing, and I said this yesterday, I think, on the chat, if I had to get into clothing, I would quit reselling, and that didn't happen. So if I was forced to move all my stock elsewhere, then I would do it. I wouldn't quit reselling. I just know it in my mind now. David says, is Ad's shirt the same color as his jacket, or is it all one garment? Looks like an optical illusion. No, it is. It is the same. Not the same garment. It's the same color. It's not like the same thing. No, basically this is a reversible jacket, so I often wear it this way round, which you will see, and then sometimes I flip it around the other way. But yeah, it's terrible, this one. It's getting really bad. I've had it for years. I think David meant about getting your own place. Which one that? Oh, he meant about oh, why? Good. What would you do? Right, I'll read that question again. What would you do, Ads, if your mum and dad told you that they wanted their space back, or grandma was moving in? What's the right? So you mean like if I had to move out? Ooh, that would be a tough one. That's even harder. Oh, I didn't think of it like that way, because I just couldn't imagine my mum and dad just chucking me out like that, basically saying, "Oh, your grandma's moving in. We need all this space back. You know, you just go in." I just couldn't imagine it. But the things in life that you can't imagine often come true. So yeah, if they kicked you out, yeah. Neil said, in other words, if they kick you out, I know. It's like, I honestly don't have a plan for that, and that is bad. That is really bad. You should have some contingency. Yeah, so I would probably, I'd have to hunt for a place, wouldn't I? And I'd have to get somewhere cheap to start off with, like a little flat or something. I don't know. I'm thinking that a flat round here, not a particularly like amazing area or anything, would be like the cheapest option. Or maybe even I know, I could probably get a few of my friends together and we might all be able to move out at the same time and do a house share. But then that means that, that's what I'll do. I've got a plan. It's all right. My brain only takes a few minutes to work. So basically, there's a few people I know who live around here who are wanting to move out anyway. So basically, I would get them to, we'll get them all together, you know, we'll have a few drinks or whatever, we'll have a laugh, and we'll form a plan, basically. Well, why would I say we'll have a few drinks together? I don't even drink, but we'll have a few, they'll have a few drinks, I'll have a lemonade, and, well, actually, I don't have caffeine, so I'll have a tap water. How boring am I? We will have a few drinks, I will have a tap water, and then we'll have a discuss. And we will buy a house together, maybe 3 of us, something like that. That's a fair number. And we will get a house. That will alleviate the rent, I believe. It should do anyway. Then, if I've got a bit of money left, which I should do. If I'm renting, I should do. Then I'll buy a storage lockup. All my stock will go there. I'll do my eBay. I'll travel to the storage lockup, which should help productivity and efficiency in my business. And then basically I'll basically work 9 to 5 then. So that might actually work out a lot better, because it will help me have a break from the business, like a clearly defined cut-off point. I will be living with friends, which is awesome. Who wouldn't like that? And yeah, I mean, it would just be good, wouldn't it? It'd be all rounder, be all good. Anyway, yeah, that's my little plan that I've attempted to come up with within like 10 seconds. But yeah, if I had more time, I'd be able to tell you more what I would do. 1 second. Lonnie asked a question up further up. Ads, are you friends with any resellers that live near you? Yeah, I mean, like, there's a couple of guys on the group, on the UK reselling group. I wouldn't say like I am friends with them in terms of like online and everything, but I mean, I don't like live near enough and like meet up all the time or anything like that. But I've met them at least. I've met them once. I've met Josh Howarth in the Facebook group, and he's a really nice guy. I've met him like 5 times now or something, quite a lot. And yeah, he's a really nice guy, and it's really cool to go around picking or to meet up with some other resellers. I've met John once, who was at a car boot, actually, John Royal. Who I've met. I met Sarah Hall from the Facebook group, and we went picking a few times as well, which was really good. And there's also this one charity shop manager who is also like sort of a reseller. He does it like on and off. And he basically comes around the charity shops with me every now and then, and obviously I see him in the charity shop that he works in. So yeah, I consider him a friend as well now. So yeah, thanks. I am a nice guy. Oh, Josh, he just popped up. Thanks. I am a nice guy. Right, where are we in the chat now? So to answer that question, yeah, I do sort of have a few friends who live near me and who are resellers. But yeah, it's so good. It's so good being like going picking with other resellers. So awesome. Parents possibly tuned in. I'm in to bed. Second room is now my storage. Sod that, David. Say it as it is. That's Neil. I don't know what that's referring to. Nothing like moving into your own place. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Chrissy says, when my partner left home, his mum painted the room bright pink in hope he would return. Oh my God. Bright pink. Oof. Carp fishing. I didn't move out till I was 26. So safe for a deposit, dude. What was that? Sorry. So safe for a deposit, dude. So save for a deposit, you mean, or so safe? 10k should be more than enough. Oh, right. That's okay. That's okay. I can do that in a year or so. So that's all right. Buy a second-hand caravan, resell from there, drive it to the boot sales and to the charity shops. That is cool. 1 second. I'm losing track of this chat here. Sorry, technical difficulties here. I moved out last year at 42 years old. Wow. Retro boot disc, Beak Nuke, that's the way. Spare room as office. That's great. I waited till I had a deposit to move out. It's the only way without renting, really. Yeah, I've said this on the channel before, but it's not like I'm against renting or anything like that, but I feel I have a strong principle that, you know, if you're buying a house, you know, if you want to move out your own house, you know, your parents' house or whatever, into your own house, I feel like you want to be throwing your money at it, and it's actually, you know, you're buying a house rather than renting it. I understand renting completely has its place, and it's great for people getting onto the property ladder, all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, if you can actually buy a property, that's really good, because obviously everyone says that property is, you know, is great to have, you know, in a portfolio or just even to own your own house. But yeah, I mean, I have a bit of a sort of thing that maybe in my 40s or something, I might end up dabbling in like property development and things like that. But that's ways down the road. I'm not thinking about that yet. But yeah, Chris is in the chat. Have you changed your YouTube name, Chris? Got to be happy. I like that. Garage flips, renting does give you flexibility and keeps you agile. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Like you can move really quickly, can't you, when you're renting? So yeah. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I'm not like against it or anything. I just think obviously it has its place and all that sort of stuff, and it is great in certain situations. But if I was ever to move out, I could consider just like buying a house or getting a mortgage. And then grow from there, really. Renting is dead money, Neil says. Yeah, in one way it is. I sort of think like this is why I don't particularly like renting or anything like that. It's because a few of my friends have moved out of the parents' places, right? They've rented and then I've ended up having to move back in. Well, all that money, it's like, oh, you know, they've spent rent each month and then they've moved back in anyway. It's like, oh, you know what? Oh. But anyway, yes, mate, Chris says. I'm looking to move. I want a double garage. That's my priority. Now, that would be cool. My granddad has a double garage and it's full of tap, like full of stuff, like odds and ends, bits and bobs, big heavy machinery, and all manner of bits and bobs. It's so cool. It's like something off American Pickers, but just like slightly less, obviously. Well, quite a lot less, but it does have the same sort of theme going on, so it's pretty cool. But my grandma does not like it. Renting. Oh no, I'm behind on the chat here. I don't know where I am. You could meet a young lass next week, and she wants you to move in with you in a couple of years. You never know when you will eventually move out. Yeah, it's completely true, isn't it? I don't know. I mentioned this a few weeks back, actually. It's the whole thing with getting a girlfriend and things like that. And, you know, I talked about putting our money together and me not being too keen on putting money together and things like that. They're going to screw me over or something's going to happen. I think I would have to have a few years with a person before being able to commit to buying a house and things like that. So even if I was to meet a girl, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to move. Well, I don't know. My opinion could change because I'll be in love, won't I? So it'll be like, I'll be all hopped up on love juice. What I'll be like, oh yeah, let's move in together and let's get married and let's. That's what I would say. I would blurt out the words. If I was so in love with someone, I would blurt out the words, let's get married, in the most awkward situation ever. It really would be. Yeah, so I don't know, but it is, you've got to look at it from all angles, really, haven't you? And I'm not. I'm looking at it from how I am now, you know, and in a year or 2 years' time, I get a girl, I fall in love. Well, not get a girl, because I suppose that's slightly sexist, because you can't really own a woman or anything like that. So I apologize. I have equal or mutual relationship with a girl, and we end up falling in love and all that sort of stuff. And one thing leads to another, and then maybe a few months or a year goes by, and we do end up moving in, and then we get married, and then end up having a kid or two. I would like a girl and then a boy, girl first and then a little boy. Basically a boy, so then the family name like carries on, and then a girl just because I really like a girl. And my dad would like a girl, and my granddad would like a girl. Hopefully, my granddad will love to see that as well, because he's getting on now. But it would make his day if he had a little great grandchild, a little baby girl as a great grandchild. That's hilarious, ads, says Lonnie. David McGregor, love juice. Love juice. Oh, love juice. Right, yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. I needed this laugh today. These chats never fail. Ads, you are... Oh, I forgot what that means. I'm not going to say it because I do know it's bad, but... NSFW. I had to type it in Google when you commented on my last video because I didn't know what it was, but I get it now. Yeah, I know. Anyway, that love juice can give you a horrid wet patch in my bed. Oh God, bloody hell, Paul right in there. So you probably need your single bed. Ferrari's. Oh no, here we go. Same as yesterday. Lolo Ferrari's love juice. Carp fishing, no strings, juice first, then move on to the love juice. Not safe for work. Oh, I thought it was the other one that you said in the comment that was bad. Oh, right, okay. That's all right. I can say that. Yeah, I am not safe for work, apparently, which I suppose means that, I don't know, what does that mean? What does that actually relay into? Like, I am not safe to be in a relationship, or I don't know. What, Lonnie, what does that mean? I don't know. Have I missed the dancing? Chris says. I don't know whether I said that one or not, but no, I've not danced today. Meant your show has adult content. Means your show has... Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I know it does. I'm sorry. I see, this is the thing, right? I think I'm doing well because I bleeped out the swearing of that reseller comedy short, but then on Thursday Talks every week, I end up going into adult content anyway. And it's like, oh, you know what I need to do? You know what I might need to do actually? There's a little button on your YouTube settings when you're like going live, or maybe even like after you've done the stream, where you can select like 18 plus. I might have to do that actually from now on. Especially, actually, that would make it quite appealing, wouldn't it? The show, because people would be like, oh, an 18 plus eBay reseller show. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Don't know what you could be doing though on that show. Like randomly have like an eBay cushion between your legs, like wee, like that, you know. But I don't know, you know. But anyway, it means people should not watch you when they are at work. Ah, right. It means people should not watch you when they are trying to work. In an office, for example. Haha, you're shouting love juice. I'm going to talk about the love juice with my wife. Oh God. Poor Lonnie. At least it's afternoon here. Poor guy. Poor guy has love juice with his cornflakes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, anyway, no, I'm gonna do that next week. I am. In all seriousness, I think I've got to put an 18 or a 50, maybe like a 15 certificate on this or something. It's getting bad. I mean, it has got bad each week. Like the other week, a few weeks ago. See, you know what it is? It's since I do it live. Every day when I do it live, every week when I do it live, it gets worse and worse. It really does. When I was doing it, just as a normal video, I used to like refrain myself a bit, but when I go live, damn, I just get so hyped up, and I'm like, I want to dance and do all weird, crazy stuff. Ads, that is your new nickname, Love Juice. Oh, great, blimey, now that's great, isn't it? Love Juice. Love Juice. Isn't that what people say though when you're all hopped up on? Like, I'm sure I've heard my grandma say that. You're all hopped up on love juice. Maybe it was like something else. Maybe it was love. Maybe it was just hopped up on love. You hopped up on love. I don't know. 15. I'd go for 21. 21. It's not that bad. There's no like actual nudity or anything like that. I've not even really swore properly. I mean, maybe bloody is a swear word, but it's not like a terrible swear word. But yeah, so that's all right. Anyway, I will do something about that though. I better put a thing on it. Your grandma is wait, what was that? Your grandma is talking about love juice. No, you're making it not innocent now. You're twisting it. She said something like, when I used to be in high school, I used to have like real crushes on girls and things like that. And she'd be like, oh, you're all hopped up. I don't know. I forgot what she said, but it was something like that. So I just thought that was normal. Guaranteed to get a laugh during this show. I know. I don't know. Honestly, I do not like plan this, or this is totally unscripted. I just am talking and being myself, and if you find it funny, that's great. But I mean, I do try and add a little bit of pizzazz, but I don't know. I don't really like intentionally do comedy or anything like that. This is getting awkward. Yeah, it is. Stop with the whole grandma's thing. That is just really awkward. It's awkward for me. It's awkward for me more than anyone. Don't get married. Don't get married. The love juice disappears. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's all about what you bring to the table, really. I mean, I've got plans that I'm not going to discuss here for my activities in the old bedroom when I get to a certain age and the spice has died. Yeah, I already have plans put in place for that. And like since I was 12 or 13, I've had my life planned out essentially. And it never goes to plan. And things will change, and that's great. That's fine. That's what I want. But I have had some plans put in place for that since I was quite young. So yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to lose the spark. I might lose it for a few weeks or maybe a couple of months or whatever, but Yeah. David says, "Here we go, here we go." No, we'll have to wrap up in a minute because it's been an hour now. It's getting on. But no, yeah. Anyway, that's what I might lose it for a few months or whatever, but I'm not going to lose it for long anyway. I know my plans. I know my plans. My thoughts exactly, Lonnie. This is getting awkward. Yeah. It is. Right, any more? We'll bring it back to the content now. We'll bring it back. What always happens with me is, as you know, if you don't catch the first 15 minutes, you're not going to get much reselling content because I just have a laugh. Yeah, so, yeah, first 15 minutes, this is what always happens. First 15 minutes, we usually get some content. Then, about the next 30 to 40 minutes, we get no reselling content, all random stuff. Then the last sort of 5-10 minutes, I like to bring it back. So let's bring it back. So any more questions in the chat? Doesn't have to be to do with the topic. I'm quite happy to go off topic now since we have already. But yeah, any more questions about anything reselling related, of course. And yeah, but just it doesn't have to be on the topic of stock storage. Yeah, well, not rhymes. It's like a little alliteration. That's cool. Oh, and also we need another topic for next week. So if someone in the chat could throw in a topic, something different, obviously reselling related, but something different, something that we've not had, something unusual, something cool, something that's general as well that we can talk a lot about and get some real substance. Any sneak peek into your next reseller comedy show? I said that in the video yesterday. Basically, I'm going to do a bit of a comedy drama. It's not going to be it's going to be more comedy than drama, but I've got a few plans in place. Yes, I've got a little bit of a script, but not really anything at all. But I've got a little bit of, a little bit of an idea there. And I'm going to have to cast maybe 1 or 2 people to actually help me out with it. So, yeah. Question. Do you list your inventory with reference as to where it is stored? No, I do not, Chris. I really should. And when I was doing that rework in Jan or just before Jan, I should have done it then. I honestly should have done it then. That was the perfect time to do it. Obviously, I could just do it from now on, and then obviously over time, most of my inventory will be sort of indexed like that and sorted like that. But I don't know. Systems like that go way above my head. I'm like, oh no, what I have to do is put it in the title. I know it's so lazy, but I have to put it in the title, and then I'll have to write on somewhere that it's that place. And then knowing me, I'll move it from that place and it won't be in that place, or something will happen. I'm just like that. I'm really like that. I do, however, like I said a couple of weeks back, I have everything organized into categories on the shelf. So we have a Wii shelf, so all my Wii games. We have an Xbox shelf. We have 2 PS2 shelves. I have a bric-a-brac shelf. I have part of the shelf for watches because I've been doing a few watches recently. I have a tub with all my men's coats in. I have a tub with my shirts and things like that, in jumpers, things like that. I have a tub with my ladies' clothing in. I have a entire shelf dedicated to plush toys. I have an entire wall, I kid you not, an entire wall of board games, an entire wall. Honestly, must be 100 still. I don't know how, but yeah, entire wall of those. I have a full rack full of packing materials. I have 13 racking systems now. But yeah, anyway, I won't get into that too much. But yeah, as I say, I have sections. Oh, and then I have a full rack for toys and games. Not toys and games, toys and games that are not board games. So like Mystery Machine, Scooby-Doo Van, I don't know, the Frozen Ice Castle that I got a while back. Loads of different bits and bobs. Oh, and then I only have now 1 shelf for Lego. I used to have about 4 shelves for Lego, and now I only have 1 because it's sold through so much. Right, I was missing a few questions. I'll just do these last ones. Next week, budgeting for stock. Yes, that's a good one. Very good one. But now I do that terribly. Question, best way to store shoes. That was from Chrissy. I did say at the start of the video, I would have the tendency to do like just in a storage tub. You could maybe like line them up on a racking system, but you know, some of the bigger clothing sellers, shoe sellers, I know that that's what they tend to do, like with the tubs. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be an option doing it, storing them in the tubs, or the racking, no matter what, really. I mean, I suppose if I was going to do it, I think I've got about 4 or 5 pairs of shoes listed at the moment. Like, well, most of them are boots actually, because I like dealing with boots rather than shoes. That's just my tendency. And are they in a tub? No, I don't think they're in a tub. I think they're on top. Actually, no, they're on top of a tub at the moment. They're on top of a tub. So yeah, I would just say that. I did mention that earlier on, though. Yeah, so I'll leave it there, guys. So I will do that next week. But what was that? Sorry. Budgeting for stock. So basically, how to set a budget and sort of refraining yourself from going over that budget, and buying low, selling high, all that sort. We'll talk about all this because this all relates to budgeting. Obviously, buying low and selling high is a big one because it means you don't have to spend. You know, you're not spending as much to make a greater amount of money, and then you can reinvest again and do it again. We'll talk a little bit also about the ways of sourcing as well, which can obviously aid in your stock budgeting. We'll do a bit of that as well. So, i.e., maybe going to auctions, car boots, jumble sales. They're probably your 3 that you're going to get cheap stock. Therefore, you're not going to run into any like major budgeting or cash flow crises. And then maybe obviously charity shops, things like that, and maybe even RA and things like that. You might run into a bit of budgeting because budgeting problems, because if you've not got the money to spend on a load of RA and you're buying loads and loads and loads and loads of it up, you're gonna go over maybe you've set a budget or whatever, and you're gonna go over that, aren't you? So that's all relevant to the topic as well. I'll write it down in a minute after the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. As I say, it's been just over an hour now, so I'll wrap it up. And yeah, we will get back to you next week. Chris says, thanks, ads. Got a bit weird, but redeem yourself at the end, lad. Shame there's no dance. Bye, everyone. Bye, Chris. Just looked at timings. Literally 9 minutes of pure love juice chat today. Never change, ads. Always entertaining. Thanks again. Thanks, David. Thanks, ads. Enjoyed it. Came for the Tigers, but got the love juice one, he says. Yeah, yeah. You never know with me. And Chris is saying thanks. Neil says thanks. Yeah, thanks, guys. And I will see you next one. And as always, we have that little awkward bit where I'm trying to find the stop broadcast button. Bye, guys.